In Chapter 9, we read about an economically dynamic America, a country that's caught up in the market revolution. Now what that means is that America is going to begin to participate in a much more international economic world. The things that you want to look for in Chapter 9, number 1, and the focus of this overview, the transportation revolution, including things like steamboats, canals, clipper ships, turnpikes, and finally, railroads. Number 2, the development of the factory system, like the one in Lowell, Massachusetts, and others that follow. And then finally, slavery and King Cotton, and how this global commodity becomes a focal point of America's economy and the implications for African Americans. While the introduction of the steamboat at the beginning of the 19th century had made the major river systems arteries of commerce, it was a much humbler craft with a much more low-tech power supply that gave access to the hinterlands to the new global marketplace.
I'm in LaSalle, Illinois, on the canal packet boat Volunteer. Canal boats like this one would have carried passengers and goods from Chicago to LaSalle to get them onto the Illinois River and eventually to the Mississippi and down to New Orleans. The opening of the Erie Canal in 1831 had initiated a spate of canal buildings all across the country. And canals like the Illinois and Michigan made cities like Chicago port cities for both the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico via the waterways.
But as efficiently as the canals moved large loads over long distances, they couldn't go everywhere and they weren't very fast. And ultimately, they lost out to the great transportational development of this era, the railroads.
I'm sitting in the Lincoln Depot in downtown Springfield, Illinois. Train stations like these were some of the hubs that linked together the northern states before the Civil War. In fact, north of the Ohio River, there was significant trade development between 1830 and 1860. One of the first important lines in the state of Illinois ran from Springfield through Jacksonville and over to the Illinois River. Again, linking up the connection, making Springfield a city that could get to New Orleans very, very easily. The problem with the trains, though, was that the westernmost trains only went as far as St. Joe, Missouri. Our next stop will be in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Hi folks, today I'm in St. Joe, Missouri at the beginning point of the Pony Express. In the days before the information highway, before the internet, this was the fastest way to get messages from point A, Missouri, to point B, the West Coast. But in its day, it was the fastest thing on 4 legs.
The Pony Express only ran for a couple of years and ultimately fell victim to new technology as well. Its message-carrying service was replaced when the transcontinental telegraph was built, and its package-carrying service was finally done in when the transcontinental railroad line was hooked up. As we look at Chapter 9 and the new technologies, especially the new transportation technologies, and how much they're going to affect America's entry into this market revolution, we know that things like the steamboat, canals, railroads, clipper ships, all of these help to drive the American economy into a newer and stronger position and to participate in a more global economy as well. The 3 things to keep in mind as you look through Chapter 9. Number 1, the transportation revolution, and all the things we've talked about. Number 2, the development of the factory system, and ideas of mass production. And finally, number 3, slavery and King Cotton, and the effects on African Americans and the American economy. So long for now. I'll see you for Chapter 10.